Welcome back to XRP Insider, your trusted source for the latest updates, deep insights, and real-time analysis in the world of XRP and crypto. Today we're diving into a developing situation that could shape XRP's next big move, and it's something traders and investors are watching very closely right now. If you've been feeling like the market is unusually quiet, like something is building beneath the surface, you're not imagining it. Because according to recent analysis, XRP is currently sitting in a critical zone, and what happens next could lead to a powerful breakout that may surprise a lot of people. Right now, XRP is consolidating inside what analysts describe as a symmetrical triangle pattern on the daily chart. Now, if you've been in crypto for a while, you already know that this type of pattern often represents a buildup of pressure. Price keeps tightening, moving between lower highs and higher lows, almost like a spring being compressed. And eventually, that pressure has to release. The key question is not if it will break out, but in which direction it will move when it does. And that's exactly what has the market on edge right now. What makes this setup even more interesting is the projected move once the breakout happens. Based on the size of this triangle formation, analysts are pointing toward a potential 26% move in XRP's price. That's not a small fluctuation. That's a significant shift that could create major opportunities or risks, depending on how traders position themselves. But here's the catch. Symmetrical triangles are neutral patterns. That means the breakout can go either way, up or down, depending on how the market reacts at key levels. Speaking of key levels, there's a very specific range that traders are being warned about right now. The zone between $1.35 and $1.45 is being labeled as a no-trade zone. And there's a good reason for that. This range has been showing signs of indecision, where price moves look convincing at first, but often turn into fakeouts. Traders entering positions within this zone are more likely to get trapped in sudden reversals, which can be frustrating and costly. So instead of jumping in early, experienced traders are waiting for confirmation. And in this case, confirmation means a strong daily close outside of that range. If XRP manages to close above $1.45 on the daily chart, it could open the door for a move toward $1.82. That would signal bullish momentum taking control and pushing the price higher. On the other hand, if the price closes below $1.35, the downside target could move closer to the $1 mark, which would indicate bearish pressure gaining strength. What we're seeing here is a classic moment of market hesitation, where buyers and sellers are battling for control, but neither side has fully committed yet. And these are often the moments right before major moves happen, the calm before the storm. Because when price finally breaks out of this tight structure, it usually doesn't move slowly. It tends to move fast and with conviction, catching many people off guard. Now let's talk about another layer of this setup that's adding even more weight to the possibility of a big move. Data from on-chain analytics platforms is showing something very interesting happening beneath the surface. There's currently a growing gap between XRP's leverage ratio and its price. And historically, when this kind of divergence appears, it often signals that a strong move is building in the background. To put it simply, the leverage ratio measures how much traders are using borrowed funds to amplify their positions. When leverage is high, the market becomes more volatile because positions can be liquidated quickly. But right now, the leverage ratio is relatively low and moving sideways. That tells us something important. It suggests that excessive speculation has been flushed out of the system. The market has cooled down, and weak hands have likely been shaken out. But here's where it gets interesting. Even though leverage has dropped, the price hasn't collapsed. XRP has been holding its ground. And that combination creates a unique setup, because when new leverage starts to build again, especially on the long side, it can trigger a much stronger price reaction than usual. It's like the market has reset itself, and now it's preparing for a fresh wave of momentum. This is why analysts are saying the market might look calm on the surface, but underneath, it's actually building potential energy. And when that energy releases, it often doesn't result in a slow, steady climb. Instead, it leads to sharp, aggressive moves that happen quickly and decisively. These are the types of moves that create both massive opportunities and sudden risks. If you've been watching XRP for a while, you know that it has a history of making explosive moves when conditions align. And right now, multiple signals are starting to line up. A tightening technical pattern, a clearly defined breakout range, and underlying on-chain data suggesting a buildup of pressure. All of these factors combined are creating a situation that traders simply cannot ignore. At the same time, It's important to stay grounded and not get carried away by hype. Because while the setup looks promising, nothing is guaranteed in the crypto market. Breakouts can fail, fake-outs can happen, and unexpected news or external factors can always shift the direction. That's why patience and confirmation are being emphasized so strongly in this scenario. Instead of guessing the direction, many traders are choosing to wait and react. They're watching for that decisive daily close above resistance or below support. Because once that confirmation appears, it provides a clearer signal of where the market is likely headed next. And in a setup like this, timing can make all the difference. Another thing to keep in mind is the psychological aspect of the market right now. When price stays in a tight range for an extended period, it tends to frustrate traders. People get impatient. They start forcing trades. And that's often when mistakes happen. But those who stay disciplined and wait for the right moment are usually the ones who benefit the most when the breakout finally comes. So where does that leave us right now? XRP is in a holding pattern, sitting inside a critical range, building pressure with every passing day. The market is watching closely, and the next move could define the short-term trend in a big way. Whether it's a breakout to the upside or a drop to lower levels, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. A significant move is coming. And if the projected 26% move plays out, it could create a ripple effect across the broader crypto market as well. Because XRP is not just another altcoin, it's a major player with a strong community and significant market influence. When it moves, people pay attention, and that attention can drive even more momentum in the direction of the breakout. For now, the smartest approach is to stay alert, stay patient, and keep an eye on those key levels: $1.45 on the upside and $1.35 on the downside. These are the lines in the sand that could determine XRP's next big move. And once the market chooses a direction, things could start moving very quickly. That's all for today's update on XRP Insider. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you stay tuned because we'll be tracking this situation closely as it develops. The next few days could be crucial, and you don't want to miss what happens next in this evolving XRP story.